Hello everybody, my name is Terrence Simmons, and I did my artist project on Michelangelo. We're going to start off by bringing you into the history of life. So the history of life for Michelangelo, he was born to Leonardo di Buonarrota and Francesca di Neri del Miato di Segna. I apologize with the English, it's very hard names to pronounce. He was born March 6, 1475, in Caprice, Michelangelo, Italy. His mother had prolonged illness, so his father sent him to a nanny whose husband was a stonecutter. By the age of 6, his mother passed away. At the age of 13, Michelangelo's father sent him to apprentice in the well-known studio of Domenico Ghirlandaio. He then died February 18, 1564, in Rome, Papal States. Now we're going to move on to the events during his lifetime. In 1478 through 1480, war between Florence, Venice, Milan, and the Papacy Segna Naples had started. 1480, Lodovico Sforza comes to power in Milan. 1483, Sistine Chapel is consecrated. 1483 through 1520, Rappel has begun. In 1498, Savonarola burnt as a heretic. 1499, Louis III invades Italy. 1508 through 1512, Michelangelo paints ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. 1527 through 1530, he also paints the Florentine Republic. He then, in 1537 through 1541, Michelangelo paints the Last Judgment. In 1540, the Jesuit order was founded. And then Galileo Galilei was born the year Michelangelo died. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the art movements. He used the High Renaissance in the 1490s. Then he used the Italian Renaissance in the 14th century to the 16th. Then he used the original Renaissance. And then he also used Mannerism. Mannerist painters exaggerated and elongated the human body proportions. This began in 1520. Now we're going to move on to the theories of art. This is a quote by Michelangelo himself. He said, "The true work of art is but a shadow of the divine perfection. Only God creates, the rest of us just copy." This was on www.theartstory.org where I found this quote. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the art movements they belong to. He was a polymath and genius who is widely considered to be one of the greatest artists of the Italian Renaissance period. He was part of the revival and classical Greek and Roman art. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at the summary of their body of art. His work demonstrated a blend of psychological insight, physical realism, and intensity never before seen. He was a sculptor, painter, and architect widely considered to be one of the greatest artists of the Renaissance. His major influence was his contribution to the romantic, heroic depiction of man as the greatest creation of God. He also influenced the Christian faith and its concept of what God looked like through his art. His work was infused with a psychological intensity and emotional realism that had never been seen before, and often caused quite a bit of controversy. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at the main elements and principles of design. He was known for sculpture, painting, architecture, and poetry. The mediums that he used was oil, wood, stone, and etc. along those lines. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into the functions of art. For the functions of art, the main one that I had picked up throughout most of his paintings and his lifetime was self-expression. He was very big on using that function of art, and the biggest one that depict that was when Michelangelo created the first image and sculpture of what God could look like. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the criticisms that Michelangelo received. The biggest one that he had received is when Michelangelo was finishing his David sculpture. Piero Soderini came to view his sculpture, and after the reveal, he criticized Michelangelo's work by saying that David's nose was too thick. As you see in this picture, that's what he was criticizing. Now, this is the end of my art project, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening. The websites that I have used were britionaka.com, theartstory.org, tourititaly.org, michelangelorenaissance.org, and theartable.com. Again, I thank you for tuning and listening, and I hope you all have a great day. Good night.